All right, coming to you live again from the Otacon Accelerant as well as Inspirability Suite. We have John Richards, his son Tyler, and what was your name again? I know you're the CEO of the company that was just founded. Okay, Phil, I'm going to learn a lot about you, but we're going to put you in the hot seat here. All right?
Hey, Joel, where can people watch us?
Right now, we're putting up on a number of different streams.
Awesome, you made it.
Video on demand. We do have some links.
All right.
Sign up a company in 20 minutes.
We got both co-founders here.
Okay.
But are you going to sit down on this thing?
Yeah, if you want me to.
I'd love you to. All right. Can I tell you about the Ultimate Fun Startup? When was it that I did that chat with you? That led to this.
That led to this?
When you and I got in a chat war and we went through like 4 different things.
3 days ago?
Yes. So let's close that door so we can get rid of that. Paul, could you close the door, please? Thank you. All right.
Emotional for something. Okay, got it. Yeah.
We've had a bunch of collisions here, but you guys are the very fortunate. I look like a rave. Where's my lollipop and stuff like that? You guys have very, very, very good taste and fortune in this father-son combo. Do you guys realize how
He said
Fathers and son.
You have good taste in his father-son combo. Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask a couple of questions that are very, very simple, and then I'm going to just turn this over to you to have a conversation for the next 15 minutes. Is that okay?
Okay, cool.
I'd like to ask the two of you first, because I know about these guys. Who you are, what you do, and what you need. Can you share that? Yeah, so who you are, what you do, and what you need. I'm going to give you like 15 seconds to think about that, okay?
He's first.
Does this need to be pass, or are we good? Just
Go ahead, Phil. Tell them who you are and what you do.
Hi, my name's Phil Kirkheiner. I'm flown in from Seattle, Washington today. I'm the CEO of Baton. We're a platform that lets home services companies refer to each other, buy and sell leads one to another. And what I need is, I can always use more love in my life. So the more love, the better.
Exciting.
He stole my answer. All right. I need more love from my CEO. My name is Cody Barber. I'm the COO of Baton Leads, I live in Saratoga Springs, Utah, so I'm here pretty close to this nice Silicon Slopes Summit. Slummet. Yes. It's a new word. It's in with the kids nowadays. What I need, that was all jokes. I don't know what I need. I need, more people that are just genuine, and I want to connect with people that just love to network and help each other out. So.
Great. Awesome, Cody. Good answer.
John, 3 questions for these 2 gentlemen that you haven't asked them.
Yeah, well, let me just again say who Tyler and I are. Tyler and I are run a boot camp called Startup Ignition for Entrepreneurs. These 2 are graduates of that boot camp. And also we run a venture fund, a pre-seed venture fund called Startup Ignition Ventures. And these 2, their company was one of our first investments from that fund. And they're being humble. Baton has created a technical platform that allows home services businesses, for instance, let's take pest control, and a pest control company in one area of the country or one even across the state or even across the city that doesn't cover a certain type of business in pest control, like beaver or raccoon removal, whatever, and they can help these companies share leads one with another when they don't handle that business geographically or by vertical. And so the genius of this platform is that they can create this transaction between 2 service providers, and they get a piece of the pie on both sides of the transaction, making that lead connection. And it's really exciting to see what Baton can do. Right now, they're focused on pest control with lots of other verticals to come. Since last year, their revenues have quintupled. And since we invested in them, they've tripled. And so we're super excited about their progress and what they're doing. And they're doing it very lean, in lean startup way, and figuring out their business model and not squandering capital and time, but being very efficient on both scores. And that's what they're doing. And a little story real quickly to finish. I met Phil when he was a freshman in college. And I noticed Phil was just a sharp individual. I noticed he was going somewhere. I didn't know what or how. And then a few years later, he mistakenly got into the accounting arena. So he majored in accounting. That's a mistake a lot of people make. But he came up and said, I have a new startup idea. And I said, whatever it is, I want to be part of it and help you, mentor you, whatever. And then the rest is history, I think, in that. And he's just a super sharp individual. And his co-founder, Cody, here, just as sharp, and they're a great team.
Two questions for you. What would you have rathered him majored in, John?
Probably I'd rather have him drop out and start a company so we'd be farther ahead.
And my second point, not question, is don't mistake humility for inexperience on interviews.
There you go. Exactly.
And for the son.
Oh, hi.
Thanks, John.
What am I answering?
He can ask a question. He
asked
me to ask a question. I'm just
okay.
telling more about them.
Yeah, no, I just want to give Baton a little bit of time here and kind of explain a little bit more about the home services industry that you're servicing. For those that are watching and viewing, kind of explain the ins and out of Baton and the industry that...
How it works, maybe.
Yeah, how it even works. Or, what's the value? Why would someone come and be a client or participate on Baton?
Do you want to talk about how it works, and I'll talk about how we are focused right now?
Yeah, sure. So what Baton is basically it lets any company create a referral program and open it up to other companies to participate in. So companies sign up, they create their profile and say, I provide these services in this area, and I'm willing to pay other companies, X number of dollars every time they refer a customer to me. And this is really important because, the service company reputation is everything. So primarily it's really helpful to a company to be a resource for clients when they call, and instead of just saying, oh, sorry, we don't do that, good luck. They can be helpful to the client, say, oh, perfect, we know somebody, whatever they need, and then by participating in the referral program, get rewarded for, helping the client and generating business for another company and being able to get referrals back to their own business.
Cool.
So everything about it.
Question. Or Cody, finish what you were going to say, and then I'll ask a question.
So John kind of touched on it already, but we're focused mainly on the pest control and wildlife industries, and going with referrals between those two industries. One thing that we have found as I've been doing this for 1.5 years, and Phil's been doing it for close to 3 years, is each industry within the home services umbrella is very intricate. There's so much to learn. Every day I'm learning something new about the pest control industry from the people that we work with. So as we look to scale into other industries within the home services umbrella, there's going to be a lot of learning as well. So right now we're focused on that pest and wildlife.
So I've got a question for you. Are you guys going to be so efficient that the transformation I saw of my nephew this summer when he went to Florida and Atlanta to do pest control, the summer program, is that going to be something that's not going to be as effective because of the efficiencies and the innovation that you've created?
That's a great question. So I think your question is related to your nephew who did door-to-door sales, correct? I think door-to-door will always be effective.
The origination.
Correct, because you're going to somebody's house, and if they open the door, you have a chance and opportunity right then and there. Most people are going to slam the door in your face, but you're still going to have opportunities in there. What we're doing is we're simply taking advantage of people calling into a company already and saying, to a company that can't provide the service that they're calling for, and saying, hey, let's instead pass the baton and send it to a company that can help you.
That's the corporate name.
Exactly.
Can I have a conversation with him?
Absolutely.
He's a nice guy to talk to.
Yeah, since it's being recorded, it's actually probably something that's going to be
Come on in here, Joel.
eventually. Ooh, let's get cozy. Wait a second.
We'll cut John out a little bit.
240 pounds of solidified cellulite at your service here, yes. So in 2016, I was an ambassador for the Eisenhower Fellows, and we had a number of different representatives and luminaries that came from different countries. And your son, as you learned the other day, as part of the other co-working and boot camps we looked at, and it was before you guys came up to Holodeck, made an impression on a guy named Nathan Savanathan, who is a very influential investor in Southeast Asia, Sri Lanka, and everything else. he had a bunch of questions for you. He was curious about the startup building. He was curious about the ability of topic-based education, where you can bring somebody to the next level. And as we talked about, and you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that
interaction?
conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. We found out just a few months ago when he reached back out to me, because he's now very interested in shrimp and alternative building. He goes, "Do you know what I did with that conversation that I had with young Tyler and you?" And he remembered his name. I said, "No." He goes, "Have you noticed that we've had Hatch, and it's a new innovation center and co-working space and everything else?" He's going, "Yeah." He goes, "That's a direct result of the conversation that we had with Tyler and up at SLC office with Dan Barrett and stuff like that."
Very cool.
It's a butterfly effect, Tyler, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a butterfly
Let me follow
effect.
up and ask these guys a question on that.
Yeah.
So, for instance, these two came through a program like that boot camp where you can get intensive short-term education. I'd like them to comment, how much has Lean Startup and what you learned helped you in approaching this company? And, I mean, do you need to raise big dollars? And is that smart to do at the very beginning? Or can you actually figure out a business model and get the kind of revenue growth you've done using Lean methodology? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'll speak to that. 100%, we followed Lean Startup, and it made all the difference for us. I mean, when I first had the idea, when I was thinking about Baton and what to do with this, it was all about just one way. I thought that I had nailed it in without ever talking to customers. And had I raised money with that in mind, the business would have failed. It just straight up. But we've tested that, and that vertical is not, that method of doing business isn't what made us successful now. And so what worked better for the business was first going to an industry conference. All I did was I had a T-shirt with Baton on the logo, and I just went around and told people I had a company and what I did to see if there was interest in it. And after I got customers bought in, then I went back and built a prototype based on what they said they wanted. And it's that whole methodology.
That's Lean Startup. Good
has
job.
been,
That's great.
It's been really, really helpful. We've saved a lot of money.
So do we
Boy.
have another entrepreneur group that's coming in with
Yeah,
you right
just
now
look, we'll
too?
have another group coming in. Yep.
Okay, I don't like to use words like this because, you're based in Provo, but is this an example of badassery? I think so.
Yeah.
So-
No, I think Phil and Cody are taking a lot of the right moves in building an early stage company. I mean, over the last year, again, these guys have quintupled their revenues year over year. So just congratulations to everything they're doing.
Their efficiency
Yeah.
is immense, and that means then when they start getting more capital come in, that efficiency will be applied, and that's how you get the hockey stick exponential growth curve. Is exactly what they're doing. It's exciting.
Awesome. Well, let's take a break before your next comes
Okay.
in, and then follow
Thank you
that.
guys.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
We'll follow that up with